Hi there, Rick here. I'm doing a job for a customer of mine in Vancouver here. Last week I pressure washed their deck for them and the walkway around the house, um, the driveway, their bins, um, the fence. So when I pressure wash the deck, okay, like it's nice and clean right now. It's had about 4 or 5 days to dry out, right? So it's all prepped up, ready to be painted. Um, from looking at their deck, okay, you see how there's lots of different, paint stains there, right? Marks on the deck, right? I don't think it's been painted in, well, to be honest, 15 years, okay? That's a long time. And lucky they have this awning right here, okay, because it's helping protect their deck from the UV rays, the snow, the rain, the ice, right? It's probably, well, the awning's done a good job of protecting the deck all those years, right? Otherwise, I could see their deck basically being needed to be replaced, okay? You can see my paint, okay, and then you can see the old deck, right, the color of it, right? There's a big difference, right? And I was just telling the customer here how, if you let me paint it, okay, believe me, you'll be happy with it, okay? Because there was some brown marks down here. I couldn't completely get it out. And then, there was some shoe marks down here, right? You see the shoe marks, okay? Right there, right? I told the customer I just couldn't get it out. Sometimes too, it's been on there for too long. I can't get it out. Because the deck hasn't been painted a long time too. It's soaking up a lot of paint. Like if I painted it, if I painted again next summer, right, it would probably use half the amount of paint, or maybe about 3/4 of what I'm using now. But because it hasn't been painted in so long, it's sucking up so much of the paint, okay? That's normal, okay? And another good thing about it too is that, okay, I'm doing this in the morning and it's not really hot out, okay? I checked the weather this morning on the internet, so it was going to be 16 degrees. But also too, I got the awning helping protect it, because I sometimes worry, okay, if what I'm painting, whether it be wood, a deck, right? The wood is like 30 degrees, okay? And if the paint it dries too fast, it doesn't cure properly, and sometimes I get worried that the paint's not going to stick, okay? It might even bubble up, right? And also too, you can't paint rotten wood. But it's not like, there's a nice breeze today. It's not super hot yet, right? I'm not painting wood that's been out in the sunlight for like 2-3 hours. It's really hot, okay? Because I have seen that. I used to paint whole houses for my boss before, many years ago. And yeah, sometimes for whatever reason the paint bubbled up, and it was a problem with the wood. The reason why I say that is because we were using a very good quality paint, a premium paint, and the paint just didn't stick to the surface that we were painting, okay? So yeah, I just want to show you, what it looks like. What a big difference, right? That's the new paint, and then that's the old deck, right? When this is all finished painted, it's going to look like almost like a brand new deck again. And I think the customer's going to be, well, very happy about it, right? Because I think they're having some sort of family get together. So, they come out on the deck here, they go, wow, what did you do to your deck? It looks so nice. So I'll do another video when I'm finished here, and so you can, see the entire deck fully painted. And yeah, it's gonna look really nice. So I'm all finished here, okay? So that's the finished look, okay, of the deck, right? Looks pretty nice, eh? tomorrow morning they'll be able to walk on it. And yeah, it looks brand new. They'll probably get about, I would say, 25 years out of it, this paint job, just because there's an awning up above the deck here. If there was no awning, I would say, it would need to be painted about 20 years from now. But you have to remember, 20 years is a long time, right? I feel that it's almost like 1/3 of a person's lifetime. So it's got a nice sheen to it. You have to remember too, now, the deck is protected better now against rain, ice, snow, wind, right? And all those stains that are on the deck now, right? They're all gone, right? Some of the paint marks on the deck, right? They're all gone too, right? I did paint around the edge of this deck too a little bit, but they have a metal flashing that's covering the sides and some of the front. So I couldn't paint the sides, but I painted a bit of the front because more of the deck was exposed. Looks good. They'll probably want to come out on the deck more often now that it's painted. It's they're having I think kind of like family get together too, right? Bring out the barbecue on the back deck, right? Yeah, it's just new pressure wash job, nice and clean. The railings, right? I sprayed up top as well too, okay? And yeah, it just feels very clean. And if you're gonna have a kind of like a party, right? Clean up the place a bit, right? Make it look nicer. Give the place a pressure wash. And yeah, it's people will feel just more comfortable, right? In a clean back deck.